Hi everyone, and welcome to another of my live watch party art sessions. My name's Nina Camplin and I'm holding these on behalf of the VC Gallery. We're continuing with our series Sign of the Times, and I just thought I'd like to show you how my collage from the last one turned out. So this was it, and before I go on to show you how I carried on from this, because I got to a point where it was just too wet to carry on doing it as a live watch party, I thought I'd tell you how you can make a stencil. So when I did this, I put all the collage down first, and I've started to plan another one, and this one I've decided to put the stencil on first before I actually start sticking the bits on the collage. So the way I did this was I actually put it together in Photoshop. Now I know a lot of people don't have Photoshop, but if you've got a phone or if you've got a tablet, you can use filters. So you can get your picture that you want to make a stencil out of, and you can have a look in your filters that you've got on your phone or your tablet, because you may well have one that will just posterize it in black and white. If you don't, you can use change it into black and white on one of the filters, and then zap the contrast up, and you should end up with something like this. So what you need to do then is to transfer it onto the canvas. So what I did was I actually blew it up and printed it out in stages, so it was like 4 sheets printed out and then joined them together. But if you can't do that, print it out at A4, and then you can scale it up using a grid or just freehanding it. So now what I'm going to do is show you where I went from there, so how I actually transferred the stencil on and then carried on working on a collage. So this time I've got the background down first. So this is my background, and I'm dedicating this one to postal workers, as my sister is one, and I've already got the stencil prepared, and I've cut out all the really black areas. So I've put on a red base where she's got a t-shirt. I'll show you the picture. This is the picture that I was working from, the original photograph. So what I've done is I've blown that up and I've made it into black and white and zapped the contrast up. And this is the stencil after I've cut everything out, roughly in place. Now when you cut out the black parts, you will find that you might have some white kind of islands floating in the black parts. You'll need to either put those in afterwards, or you need to use little struts to keep them attached, like I have here. So this bit of black shading here ended, and this goes into a darker shade of the red. So I've just put a little strut in there to hold that in place. If you don't do that, you get this happening, so it kind of falls down. So what I've done is I've put a little bit of tape behind that. Hopefully it will hold it in. And I've got another bit there, so I'm going to just put a little bit of masking tape behind that to hold it in place. And there we go. I'm going to use a violet for this. And because this is only flimsy paper, you don't want to be moving it around too much, because the paper will just go soggy and start to fall apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stipple it on. You can do this with either a brush or a sponge, and I'm going to start from the top. You could also use a spray can for doing this, which makes it a lot faster. But I haven't got any at home, and they're not good to use indoors anyway. I think that's just about everything there. So now we have the moment of truth. Move this palette. Take the stencil off. And then we have the head. Now I'm still missing kind of the edge of her head on this side, so I did another stencil just so that I can get that side in, and I'm going to stick this over it and then get that side of the head in. It's still a little bit wet. Ideally I'd let this dry, but I want you to be able to see how this is going to look. So I can always paint it back in again if it smudges. I don't need to really put anything around the shoulder, it's just around the face and the ear. I'm going to use a magenta on this side. Just go in. Take that off. And there we go. We've got the head shape in there. So now this is ready. Well, I need to leave it to dry, but this is now ready to start adding in all the other clippings and things that I've got, all relative to postal workers and what they're going through at the moment. So I'm going to leave this now, but I hope you've been inspired to do something like this. And if you do manage to put something together, please do post it on the VC Gallery web page so we can all have a look. And I hope you're all keeping safe, staying home, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.